Hi guys, January 19, 2020. Any of you live close to the Ocala National Forest where the Navy drops live bombs? Okay, so apparently the Navy this weekend, yesterday and today, from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., they were dropping bombs in the Ocala National Forest, which is like in the middle of Florida. All right. And here, live bombs on Florida swamp. Too bad they didn't go up north to, Washington, D.C. FA-18 Hornets, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday through Sunday, dropping live and inert bombs, Pine Castle Range Complex. And apparently this is not the first time. This is what an F-18 sounds like. Yeah. Gee, I want to move there. Oh, wait. We have those jets flying here in South Carolina. Now, it doesn't sound that loud, though this is a video and I'm, the speaker's right here. But, wow, I've heard jets fly and it's kind of creepy. Well, here, bombs being dropped nearby at Pinecast, which is where they drop these bombs.
Holy cow.
And live bombs. Wow. All right, let's listen to just a newscast. I was trying to find some news on this. I couldn't find any, not on YouTube. I'd love to hear from you guys if you live around this, bomb dropping area. And I'm going to read some of an article, and it really reflects how kind of violently insane is this country. But here we go.
Navy is dropping live bombs in Ocala National Forest. It is part of a practice exercise. The Navy has a bombing range in the forest called Pine Castle. According to the Navy, F-18 jet fighters and other aircraft take off from Jacksonville Naval Air Station, fly low over the forest, and drop their bombs in the middle of the 450-acre range. This is set to start Monday. The explosions and loud noises may push wildlife out of the forest and onto nearby roads. You might be able to hear these explosions from as far away as Citrus County. The U.S.
pushing wildlife out into the roads, and that's when people get the alert. Beware, black bears coming onto the roads. Wow, man. U.S. Navy dropping live bombs in the middle of Florida. Yeah. If you hear loud booming sounds, don't worry. It's just the Navy dropping bombs in the middle of Florida. Training, I guess, is still ongoing. It's only 10:30 p.m. 2 miles west of the Camp Ocala campgrounds and near several hiking trails. One would think maybe they closed the camp for this weekend. Explosions and loud noises may push wildlife out of the forest and onto nearby roads. Always be mindful of larger animals, including black bears, and practice bear-wise measures, officials warn. Okay, bombing range, a long and loud part of forest's history. Oh, Oh man, Ocala National Forest is the picture of serenity with birds singing and deer running through the brush, unless visitors hear the shattering explosions from the Navy bomb dropping and feel the earth tremble beneath their feet. Well, you can read the history of they dropping bombs in this area. The bombs weigh about 25 pounds, although some may weigh as little as 5 pounds and as much as a ton. The biggest percent of live bombs do function as designed. They do explode. Some don't, but then they go and detonate them. Okay. Operations supervisor. And this isn't necessarily this year. No, this is 2008. After they are done with a mission, they can actually see what they've done. They're scored on how well they perform. There are no fences around the bombing range because wildlife cannot be confined, which means wildlife could be in that range. Do you think that they just don't drop the bomb if they see a squirrel or they see a deer? I don't think so. We have yet to find any deer or bear or any kind of wildlife that has been killed as a result of the bombing. Do I believe that? No. During hunting season, you can see the deer migrating to this range. Hunters are not allowed on this range. Everybody knows that. Workers also monitor groundwater for possible chemical contaminants. To the animals, the bombs sound like thunder. Well, I guess that would mean whoever stated that, they know, because they're an animal. The human neighbors know better. Good for those humans. I love it, said Jason Craig. I love it, who lives in Silver Springs Woods in the forest. I hope we never get rid of it. I want more bombs dropped in the forest. I hope we never get rid of it because it's for our protection. Plus, I like to see the jets fly low so I can read the lettering. Plus, I have family in the Air Force. If you don't like it, move. Love that attitude. Carmine and Ruth, who live in Silver Lake Acres, agree. I believe it's an asset to have that built for our servicemen to come out here and practice. They have to drop those bombs somewhere before they do it in real life. His wife, Ruth, feels fortunate to live in the United States. That sound reminds me of how many countries are out there, and it's real. Wow. Wow. Okay, it reminds you of how many countries are out there. You need a bomb dropping to remind you of other countries out there. And those bombs, do you know how many innocent people are being killed? Murdered by the U.S. military? But you love it, and it reminds you, oh, yes, they drop bombs in other countries out there. Wow. Some of the closest residents to the range feel differently. Our dogs go crazy. They are scared to death. Some guy had cracks in the ceilings and walls. But, yeah, what I notice is people tend to be intrigued about it. I've heard it called the sound of freedom. I don't know what to say about this country. There's a whole lot of people in it. I love the sound of dropping bombs. Reminds me there are other countries out there It's the sound of freedom. It's the sound of our military protecting us. And they gotta do it somewhere. No, I don't believe they've never killed any wildlife. Am I alone in feeling like, something is wrong with a whole lot of Americans and how they think? I'd love to hear from you. Please, 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 leave your comments. It's not the sound of freedom. It's the sound of death. It's the sound of horrific violence. And while it reminds you of countries out there, it should also remind you that, oh, those bombs are dropping on people. Innocent civilians. So how would you like the bomb dropped on you? Anybody near this area this weekend? Did you hear the jets? Did you hear the bombs? Live bombs dropping? Let us know.